into innovation. Now, an example of that is I did this with physicians one time. and I asked them to design a better medicine bottle. And of course, medicine bottles have changed over the years. Now you've got them color-coded, and there's child protection seals, et cetera, et cetera. But these folks came up with ideas like there'll be a code on the bottle so you can just scan it, and it'll automatically get your refill done for you. There would be something on the bottle that identifies the person whose medicine it is, so no one else is going to use it. They had all kinds of innovative ideas. So this round, I just need you to let go. This is like, so when I first did this, and the idea was that this idea came from a board meeting of a bank. And back then, banks pretty much looked like the same thing, a big, huge building with marble pillars and, these big organizations. And everyone looked the same, and they were all trying things like, we'll give a little gift to inspire people to use our bank. We'll give them a toaster or whatever. And then they're like, okay, these ideas are old. We need to get harder. Just try anything. And one person said, well, why don't we just give the money to them and they don't have to come in the bank? We'll give it to them on the street. ATMs. Think about luggage. There was a time there was no wheels on luggage. Now there are wheels. And then somebody was talking about, well, boy, it'd be nice if my bag was lost, there'd be some way to know where it was. Tags. We got all kinds. Innovate. Let go of your limitations and give it another shot. Add to your list. All right, people. All right, it looks like every table seems to be represented, and we are going to take a minute and we need a representative from each table to come up and clearly state the ideas that came from your table. Let's start in the back here. Yes. No, I mean what's up in the back. Who wrote on the sheets in the back there?
Who's going to fund the passport and everything that is going to result, that we will need to pay for? And we said, it's ALG. So you're going to answer us and tell us if ALG will be funding or not. And then we talked about the calendar. So what I understood was that it's going to be a yearly thing, where if you have your events, you get it to ALG, and then it's published before time, and it's going to run for the whole 1 year. So we decided on our table that it's better to make it quarterly instead of yearly. Okay, and then we talked about a third point, and we said, passport is good, signing is good, but we prefer it to be digital passport. So we said, why don't we do it that, like, you come into an event like this, there is a flyer on your table or a flyer at the front desk Somebody will present that to you, and there is a QR code on it, and you just scan it, and that registered you as present at that event. So those are our points. I hope that makes sense. Thank you.
I know you probably had some thoughts and ideas when the first group was sharing. So just to be clear, we're not evaluating any ideas. We're just hearing them at this point. Just so we're clear. All right, come on up.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Anita, and I'm representing Table 8. So we had a few questions too. Most of it are questions. So the first question we had is, how are we going to market this, the event? Because I think most of the time, a lot of people in the community aren't aware what event is going on. So how are we going to do this marketing, in terms of other organizations, if they're having events, how are they going to be marketed? Also, we're thinking that if we come up with a passport, we should make it, fun for people to be able to get the passport. Because, for instance, if I have the cultural passport, what do I get from it, basically? So, like he said, it's only a suggestion. We also want incentives for participating, not just attending the event. So, let's say if I attend event the whole year, what incentives is there for me and for whoever else is attending? Co-marketing. Sorry, I wasn't sure about what that was.
I'm gonna help her with this one. So co-marketing is, if I have a business and she has a business, how do we market together? How do we have events together? There may be some ancillary products that she actually has and can give that would benefit my business. But at my event, she would actually get up and tell about her business. So there's a co-marketing opportunity.
Thank you. Okay. And that's kind of similar to the partnership opportunities as well. So let's say during an event, you can also advertise the product or whatever. Let's say, for instance, there's an event here. When we get to know each other, let's say somebody is a hairdresser or somebody cooks or some sort of business. So then there's that partnership opportunities there. We are also thinking about if ALG is having an event or any other organization is having an event, we can ask vendors, or if you have other businesses, you can also let people know what you do, And then this is the last one that we came up with, thinking that we should come up with an event where it's just going to be, what is your business? So just basically, what does everybody do? It could be that you work in corporate, or it could be you have your own business. So we should have an event like that so we can get to know each and every one of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Is this a list here? It's one big idea. Is it yours? Well, why are you still sitting down, brother? Get over here, Dr. Hudson. Yes. Yes. There it is.
Okay. Okay. When we set together, our idea was, what is it that is going to make this cultural passport be got into the community, into the bigger community? And one of the things we saw is that the drivers of the cultural passport need to get into the community leaders of the different community organizations, because once the readers buy the idea and what the cultural passport is about, they will be able to take it through to the community organization, and it is going to be bought, and it's going to be key. So the first thing is to have the drivers, or rather those that are driving this cultural passport out, to make sure that the idea of the passport is bought by community leaders within our organization. And the other thing is also to have engagement with the community, with the different communities. Like we can organizing people to get into different communities to understand what do different community organizations do, what are they doing, and then when we engage with them, get to know what is it in the communities that we can be able to relate with the different cultural communities. Once we relate with each other, then we will see the passport being our passport. Because it is the one, whatever we learn from each community, we engage with this community, we are going to become one that is going to hold us together. And then it is something we'll take pride in. This is our passport.
And then, by the way, my name is Derek Hudson, and I'll just say it. I just graduated from the leadership cohort 4, which was the best cohort of all time. So before and even after many moons, the best one was cohort 4. I'm just announcing that way you all now know. I teach at School of Mines, and I'm at a STEM university. And I think my brothers and sisters in cohort 4 know I'm very passionate about trying to figure out ways to raise awareness in the African diaspora in STEM education. And I know you all know this. We are under a lot of pressure, given our political climate, about that we don't need to think about diversity in higher ed. I won't go into that. So we just have to move past that and figure out our own ways to do that. So while I was in our group, I just had this epiphany. How can I partner with my new brother, Samuel, to take a group of middle school students or high school students or whoever they think needs to go, and I'll host a trip to the only mine owned by a university possibly in the world. It's the Edgar Mine. It's owned by the university. It's open to the public, and as Dorothy mentioned in her beautiful testimony, when you see someone doing something that entails being a civil engineer, you might go, I want to do whatever it takes to do that. So if I can get young adults to see an actual functioning mine, maybe that might be a pathway to STEM and to help serve our community. So we've maybe perhaps laid the seedbed for a project where I'll take a bunch of students from the community up to this living mine. So that was our idea.
Right on. Thank you. Thank you. You are next, brother. Are you ready?
Yes, I am, sir. Yes, Jesse LaShawn Paris. I represent Table 3. Good evening. We got several things that we have wrote down over there. Let's probably go over there so y'all can see it better. As for the partners, we would like to have a community resources for mental health and addiction. We would like to address the conflicts of interest that exist within our communities. We would like to determine who will host what. In addition, we would like to create engaging miles instead of frequent flyer miles. So you know how you got the frequent flyer miles? We'd like to have something about how much you're engaged. Then we would like to determine how events will be scheduled. So as another group said, create a calendar. Determine how many organizations can participate, and determine the routes. And last but certainly not least, determine different subjects or categories per organization. And this might also have some more stuff on here. It looks like promote to young people.
Oh, no, we'll have them come up.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Thank you very
That's
much.
my table, thank you.
Appreciate it. So that group, this group right here, who are you? Who wrote the red? All right. All right.
Don't want that feedback. So, oh, okay, that one too. Got it. Alrighty. So our group was thinking really practically about this passport idea and how to share and connect ideas and different people. And one of the things that came up was how important it was to make sure that whatever it was promoted to the youth in the community, and that they engaging them in a way that they would feel connected to the individuals and organizations that wanted to do this. We also thought about, we were looking at the map that we were fortunate to have right behind us, how you, in addition to thinking about a calendar and practically speaking, a map to show the connections between the individuals and the organizations here in Colorado and their connections to other individuals and organizations in places around the country and around the world, so that you build that sense of connectedness and community for individuals and organizations. And that would allow people to build and share resources. One of the other things we talked about, just once again, practically speaking, is, and I think some of the other groups were talking about this, the whole idea of you don't, especially young people, if we're trying to appeal to them, don't necessarily want to hold a piece of paper, they'll lose it, and even us adults, we're so dependent on our phones, and we were pulling out all different kinds of, not just web pages, but apps, and looking at things like mobile passport control that many of us who travel a lot internationally use now, where it has a list of ports of entry, and where you're entering and where you're exiting from, and it asks you specific questions about why you're traveling, what your intent is, what your purposes are, so you can really build a deeper understanding of what the purpose is of a passport type document or app. And it would allow you to build and share resources. So those were kind of some of the highlights of our conversation. Excellent. Great.
The whole point is also to have some sort of discount for the card holder for the events that they attend. In addition to that, it could be a great source of collaboration, which I think was mentioned over there. And then also, one of the members mentioned that it may not be a good idea to attend the most events, but rather attend the events that benefits your needs or your interest. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. All right, so our group, I believe, I'm not exactly sure what table we're at, maybe 5. But we come up with proof of support for the, for the different passport people that you supported. We came up with testimonials from great experiences that you've had, because a lot of times we go to places that we recommend, not necessarily just have information on. So word of mouth spreads a lot faster, and so the testimonials drive people to do businesses with other people. And then to collaborate with the people doing other types and versions of the passport, because we've heard of other people doing some type of directories, and we might could just make sure that the information is just spread around even with them, so that way to collaborate with the information. Community organizing, step-by-step actions on some of the things that can lead to the success, if it's different things that we have, and then funding shared by core members and partners, just making sure that each business or each organization that is seeing some type of support.
All right. You like that one? All right, thanks. You can hand every